You know, when people look at the horizon, sometimes they see doom, sometimes they see gloom. I see Red Rock Canyon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with Swaggle. And in this one, we're outside again. You know, we're in nature. We had to go outside because we got all new kinds of agree beef going on in comic book YouTube land. And, you know, anytime there's things like this, back and forth, you got to go outside, you know, because out here is where you do spiritual healing. It's very important in life. You got to have a strong body, you got to have a strong mind, and maybe most importantly, you have to have a strong spirit. And that's what I want to talk about in this video here today. I feel like the comic book collector spirit has been broken. You know, it's just everyone is so cynical, so doom and gloom. And you're probably thinking to yourself, you know, Swag, you're the doom and gloom. Okay, you're the one that always has the videos with your hand on your face talking about comic books going to zero. To which I say, okay, you kind of got me there, but if you actually really listen to what I'm saying, I'm actually very, very positive. You know, I'm very hopeful. You know why I'm very hopeful? Because we control our own destiny. To quote Marcus Aurelius, you have to get active in your own rescue. Because here's the thing. Yeah, are comic books dying? Absolutely. They're 100% going to die if you let it die. But you can't. You got to have a strong spirit. So in this video, I thought we would go on a little bit of a walk together. Let's do a little bit of ramblings here. You know, I have a lot of ideas, a lot of thoughts that I want to speak on, and this, of course, is coming off of the heels of, me doing the Marvel Rivals video game and seeing the comments and the discussion around it and feeling like people are not hearing what I have to say. I think people see me talking about the game and they think that I'm pointing to the $500 sale, which actually it was $350, as an indication that that right there is a sign that the comic book market is saved. But that's not actually what I'm saying, okay? I agree with, shout out to Journo, friend of the channel, I agree with what he was saying in his video, where that clearly is a purchase being made by somebody within the speculator market. Now they're on to the next speculation. It's the same type of FOMO, same type of thing that's been going on. But the point I'm trying to make with the Marvel Rivals video game is that this is a tremendous opportunity for the next generation to fall in love with the characters that we fell in love with. You know, I'll just date myself. I got into comic books coming off the heels of the 1989 Tim Burton film, and I went to comic book stores after that. But really what made me a fan of the characters were the animated cartoons. Spider-Man, X-Men, and then later on the Batman series. That's what really made me a fan. And then I went back into comic books, you know, in a big way after that. This game right now, this game right here, this is that for this generation. And I feel like everyone is just so cynical about it, saying like, oh, kids are not going to want comic books. You're right. They don't. They want to go buy skins inside the video game. But the thing is this, you have an opportunity to bring their fandom to a different medium, which for, you know, what we're talking about is comic books. Because here's the thing. Yeah, it's kind of an archaic medium. I don't know if they want to collect this stuff in the same sort of way, but some of them would. Some of them would be willing to open up a comic book, you know, between queue times as they're waiting for their game. You know, they might want to flip through a little book for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? And this is that opportunity. The game is going to make more fans out of Marvel characters than the Marvel comic books have, than the MCU has. I guarantee that. That's something that I'm not going to back down on, okay? Nobody cared about Jeff the Shark, and now Jeff the Shark is going to be a cultural character that is important to that generation of kids. Now, will they buy comic books? I don't know, but you got to help them connect the dots. You got to bring them to the stores, because here's the thing, Marvel's not going to do it. Marvel is just, they're past this. We've discussed this, we've established it. The only thing that they sell their comic books to are the current comic book flippers. The older dudes. Those are the only people buying the floppies. But the one advantage that the floppies have is their importance to the characters. 50 years from now, 100 years from now, they're going to be buying the skin and they would rather own that than West Coast Avengers #7. But nothing will take away the fact that these characters came from this medium. They are comic book characters. So there's still an opportunity for people to be introduced into this hobby and for them to like it. I do think that kids would rather read trade paperbacks, but that's okay too. That's not necessarily a bad thing. We're talking about getting people into stores, getting people participating in the hobby in some kind of way. And then some of those people might make their way over to vintage collecting. It's the only thing that's going to happen. Let me talk to a couple of you vintage guys right now, okay? I see the comments. I know. Every time I cover these books, a fool and their money are soon parted, da 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 da. I get it. They should be spending their $500 on Joe Palooka, okay? I understand your philosophy here, but here's the thing. No one is going to start with Joe Palooka, okay? The 12-year-old kid doesn't know who that character is, and they don't know about the Golden Age books. They're not going to start there. They have to start with a silly shark drawn by Peach Momoko on a foil cover. That's where they have to start. And you got to get them hooked in that way. And then, once they realize that they FOMO bought it and lost $499 on their $500 purchase, then they're going to be like, wait a minute, what else you got? Okay, what else can I buy here? Oh, let me get Batman #1. Okay, yeah. Did you see the logic here? They go from Jeff the Shark to Batman 1. This is the train. Okay, I'm just kidding on that. But you get my point. And here's the thing. Again, all you vintage guys, listen. This is kind of what I was getting at when I did my last hike video coming off of San Diego Comic-Con. I kind of feel like everyone in vintage has done very well. All you dealers out there, all you LCSs, all you hobbyists, that have been profiteering off of the backs of this great American art form. That's been great, okay? But why are you not paying it forward in some kind of way? You don't have to pull up the ladder here, okay? You gotta get the next generation on board. And let me clarify. This isn't about protecting values of the comic books or whatever. This is about protecting the hobby and uplifting it. Because where do we want to go? Where do we want to go with this? Based on some of the comments I've seen, I think we definitely want to go to zero. I think people are happy if it all crashes and burns. Maybe that's where we are. Everyone is so cynical. And I think that, again, has to do with the spirit of the comic collector. 2024 was a tough year. It's been a tough, even outside comic books. It's been culturally, people are having a hard time. Economies is tough. Times are tough. But I think 2025, we got to come back from this. We got to be less cynical about comic books as a hobby in general. And I think we've all realized that 2021 was rough. We all overbought. We all went crazy. But the point is that it's time to heal. It's time to come back and realize the opportunity ahead and try to treat the hobby as something that can be enjoyed by many different people. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm part of the problem here. Maybe my sarcasm, my snark has filtered into the hobby as well. I don't know. But I still enjoy it. I still have fun doing it. I still think comics are great, I think sequential art storytelling is something that everyone is always going to enjoy. Now, the medium is an issue. The kids would rather read an iPad. But that's okay. I mean, some of them may want to have that vintage thing. They may want to hold it because it's fun. Obviously, guys, not all comic books. I'm talking about like the true treasures here that people may want to still hold on to, or some of the great stories or the history stuff. Like that's what people are still going to like. Not necessarily, I don't know, Marvel Age number 72. I don't know what Marvel Age 72 is, but sorry to the one guy who that's their favorite book. Anyways, I think that's kind of all I got to say with this video. Ra's al Ghul had it right. Training is nothing, will is everything. The spirit is the most important thing. And if everyone doesn't believe anymore, if we're all folding within the hobby, then yeah, it truly will die. But you can't kill hope. Hope remains. It takes one person to introduce the hobby to another person. And that person introduces it to 2 people. And those 2 people introduce it to 3 people. It's individuals that make change. It's individuals that make change. And you and me, we're individuals. We could be that mistake. That's actually kind of a good mistake. Yeah, maybe it is a mistake to get someone hooked on comic books. I don't know. Hasn't been a mistake. It's been the most wonderful hobby I've ever participated in. And I've had a lot of fun. And I think kids can still have fun as well. The next generation can have fun. As long as we invite them to do so. So, what are you going to do? Marvel Rivals. It's going to be the big game. People are going to have Luna Snow be their favorite character. They're going to have, Psylocke be their new favorite hero. Because I promise you this, I guarantee there's a bunch of kids playing this game right now that have never heard of Psylocke. And I think for you guys, you're like, what do you mean? How do they not know Psylocke? It's like they don't. They don't read the comics. She's like, they haven't been in a movie, or she was in Age of Apocalypse, but already that movie is like old for them. We're talking about the 12-year-old. That 12-year-old was like 7 years old when that movie came out. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know this character, but they do now. Do they know that character came from New Mutants Annual number 2? They sure don't. Wait a minute. I just lost my nerd card. Damn it. Did she come from that? Betsy Braddock? Yeah, she turned into Psylocke. Okay, this is maybe a bad first appearance to talk about. That one's a little confusing for the kids. But you get my point. So anyways, you got to be the person that shows them the way. You got to bring them into the store. And you got to not burn them either, okay? You got to not take them for every single dollar that they're worth. Get the books into the kids' hands, and maybe they'll enjoy it. Maybe this is totally copium, and I'm the greater fool. So, with that, I'm going to turn you to the doom and gloom that is on the horizon, the end of my hike, but maybe more significantly, the end of the comic book market, if you let it happen.